All eyes on Doge. Big run up to the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up to the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.69. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on this exciting Wednesday in December 2024. And yes, taxes 2024. That's what we're talking about today. And we'll get to the charts in a little bit. And I know it's been a great trading day and you all want to see the charts and talk about where things are going. And we're going to get to that. But since this is an important topic for people to recognize and understand, and it's part of you keeping your profits. We want to keep as much of our profits as we possibly can. So we're going to talk about taxes first. I am not a tax advisor. I am not a CPA. Everything I say here is education, entertainment. We'll call it edutainment here. But again, it's just to get people to realize what's going on in the world of taxes and what implications you may have, particularly right now because we're in the bull market. I did this live stream a year ago and Dogecoin was 9 cents. That's right. I look back and it was 9 cents a year ago when I did this. And it was like, taxes, there's not that much. Nobody was selling yet. It was just like still kind of bearish. But here, now we've got profits. Well, most of us have profits, I would say. So we're going to talk about what the United States does as taxes. We'll touch on some other countries, but I've never done taxes in other countries, and I don't understand all of the requirements in other countries. So forgive me if you are in another country. You'll have to do your own research on what your tax liabilities are, because I'm not an expert on that. I'm not really an expert on this, but I've done taxes for a while, particularly crypto profits and losses, and we'll talk about all of that as well. We're going to be using Dogecoin as an example, but it obviously applies across all of cryptos, and there's a lot of stock related things too. So let me get through this. It'll take me about 20 minutes, and then we'll do Q&A. So if you're putting questions in the chat right now about taxes, I'm not going to see it. So because I got to get through this first. If you start asking questions, you get me off topic, I may not get back. So I need to get through this first, and then we'll be able to refer back to it to answer your questions. All right. So I do have a beer here as well. Cheers. Because I can't get through taxes without having a little bit to drink as well. So along the way, I'm going to be going through the whole thing that I know about taxes and all the little things you should be thinking about. I'll be referencing a couple pieces of information here. This is from Coinly. It says Dogecoin taxes. It's any crypto, but they use Dogecoin as an example, which is nice of them, right? Use Dogecoin as an example because most of us are Doge holders here. We're also going to look at Coin Ledger as well. Again, it's going to be crypto taxes, not just Doge, but they have some good examples as well we're going to take a look at. We do have a video here we're going to be referencing a little bit from. This is Carlton Dennis. He did a really nice crypto tax video, and there's parts of it that I want to reference. So we'll take a look at that. We're going to talk about iTrustCapital. I'm not shilling iTrustCapital because I don't use it. There are other crypto influencers, crypto creators who are really pushing iTrustCapital. We'll just mention it here. We'll also talk about the maximum loss, although I hope you're not selling for a loss, but we will mention that as well. And then we're also going to reference a few pieces of information. And the first one I'm going to reference here is this. This is the one, the only 1040 tax form, right? So this is your 2024 tax form. Now, if you have overall taxes and you need to pay, most likely if you took crypto, if you sold crypto and you have a big chunk of crypto, that is sitting, well, you made a lot of money off it, okay? You haven't paid taxes on it yet. When you have your income from a job, you're paying taxes along the way. And generally, depending on what your withholding is, your taxes will probably be a wash. Now, some people like to withhold more, and then you get a tax return in, March or April. You file early, get a tax return, great. But in crypto, particularly if you have big gains, you're not filing your tax form in February or March. You're waiting until April. You're waiting until right at the end because you're going to owe. And so when you owe on taxes, which you most likely will because you haven't paid tax yet on your crypto profits that you took, you need to find a way to be able to save as much of that as you can. But so here's the 1040 form for 2024 taxes. This is due on right around April 15th. I don't know, sometimes they delay it a 16th or whatever it is. And what's the first question that they ask on the 1040 form? What's the first question they ask? It is digital assets. Right after you fill in your name, who you are, where you live, your filing status, what's the first question they put on here? Digital assets. Interesting, huh? Why would crypto be the first question they ask on a 1040 form? At any time during 2024, did you A, receive as a reward, award, or payment for property or services, or B, sell, exchange, or otherwise dispose of a digital asset? First question, it's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. So we'll go through what is considered to be a taxable event and what isn't a taxable event. But if you did have a taxable event, you would check this box yes. And as soon as you check that box yes, and you put in your 1040 form, right, and you file it, guess what? Your tax return is going to go into a different pile than all the people that said no. That's right. It's the first question they ask. You're going to be treated different. So for all of you people who think, well, I'm just not going to be truthful, or I'm going to hide this, or I was doing swaps on Jupiter and they'll never figure it out. Well, all I can say is, do you really want to be looking over your shoulder for IRS agents, or just be truthful and pay the taxes? You made money. Just allocate a certain amount for taxes at the end of the year and pay your taxes. That's the deal in the United States. You pay your taxes. So that's it. And if you think you can go run off to another country, no, rules are, if you made the money in the United States, you owe the United States. That's the rule. So there's the first question right there. It's like, oh crap. Okay. So they're being serious about this, right? It's you sold some crypto, taxable event, you check the box yes. There you go. Now, you'll be gathering some information. And most of that information is going to be sent to you by exchanges. Only some exchanges do this, though. We've got Robinhood, Coinbase. They will send you 1099 forms if you sold any crypto on those exchanges. Now, if you only bought and you never sold, you're not going to get one of these. You're not going to get a 1099 form. This is Robinhood's. And this is the one I got. This is from 2021. It's the same thing now. It's a Form 1099. And basically, they're going to tell you, hey, you sold some crypto in 2024. And let's see, the total proceeds were on mine was $175,000. My total cost basis was $164,000. And so my total net gain was $11,600. In 2021, that's all I made on Robinhood was $11,000. Because I held most of my Doge. I never sold it. I held all my Doge. I didn't take all those profits. So I didn't have much profit in 2021. You would have thought, Kriss, God, in a bull market, you only made $11,000 in crypto and everything was going up. And I'm like, yep, because I was waiting for Doge to go to $1 and it didn't. And I just held. But I had some other little swing trades I tried, some things like that. And they put it here. So this all added up. I actually did about $175,000 worth of swing trading in 2021 because I was, trying it out back then. But I only made $11,000 profit on that. But hey, that's $11,000 more than I had. So at least I was in the green. But that is a short-term capital gains tax on that $11,000. And we'll get into the difference between short-term and long-term in just a little bit. My long-term in 2021 was zero because I didn't hold crypto for more than a year going into 2021 because 2021 is when I first bought my crypto. So Coinbase, Robinhood, they'll sell you these 1099s. Maybe some other exchanges will, but there's a lot of them that won't. The smaller exchanges, if you're swapping tokens or using some of these like MEXC or Gate.io or any of those, they're not going to send you a 1099. If you didn't do KYC, you're not getting a 1099. So that means you need to be responsible for taking care of logging all of your crypto. Again, here goes Kriss again, not only talking about taxes, but he's talking about spreadsheets too. That's right, spreadsheets. And what have I said? You guys know, right? You're responsible for keeping track of all your purchases and all your sales. So let's say I sold, and this is the KrissPax DCA portfolio, but let's say I sold, I don't know, this much of my Dogecoin. And so I would say, okay, based on all of that, I can then say I sold it. I would probably insert a row in here and say, okay, all this is sold, and I'll change its color just so I know that, yes, I sold all of this Dogecoin, and I need to actually change the color so it actually changes like that. So I know that that is all that I sold, and then I can figure out by doing my little calculation here about what my capital gains were. So I would put that there, and I would say, okay, for my sums, I will do this, and I'll go there. And that gave me a ref, and so I just need to change that real quick. This is going to be G7. And this will be K7, and I'll get all my formulas to line up. Okay, so if I sold that Dogecoin today at, let's say, 41 cents, I would have $4,424 in profit. So I would have that on my spreadsheet right there. So you keep track of that and you say, I sold all of that. I usually put in the date that I made that sale. So I would put the date in here of 12/11/24. So I have the date there. And then we're good to go. And that's how I do that. That's the first thing I do, is this. Keeping track. And that goes for all your swaps. It goes for any sale that you make, any taxable event. We'll get into the taxable events in a minute, but that's how I keep track of it, okay? And then when it gets to the filing side, then what are you going to do? Well, there's two things. First, it's going to be an 8949 form. That's right. You are going to know and love the 8949 form because this is where you put in all of your trades that you don't get a 1099 for. So when you get the 1099 from, say, Robinhood or Coinbase, you don't need this 8949 form. But if you did swapping, you did other things that weren't on a 1099 form, you got to do the 8949. Short-term transactions not reported to you on Form 1099. And I check that box, and here we go. And I put these on here. That's because these, back in 2021, these were trades that I made on Binance.us, and Binance.us did not give me a 1099. So I filled out this 8949 for those. And I kept track of them all because I had spreadsheets. So I knew what those all were. And then the next thing is going to be your Schedule D, because your Schedule D is your capital gains and losses. This is where you add it all up. And this is my 2022 one, just so you can see that I had overall a bad year in 2022 on short term, but I had a better on long term. And I ended up having short term minus 25,000, long term plus 39,000. So you fill out the Schedule D, which then goes back onto your 1040 form where you fill in the boxes. So those are the forms you do. Now, I use a accountant for me because I have side businesses. I don't do all of this myself. I provide the information on the 8949 that I then send to my accountant, and then my accountant does all the schedules and my 1040, and he fills that out for me. So that's what I do. And that's simply how it works. Now, what is a taxable event? This is the big thing, right? What's a taxable event? So cryptocurrencies, we can go past this, taxes. So there's two ways Dogecoin is, or any crypto is taxed. One is income tax. Typically, if you get paid in cryptocurrency, like there's some football players, right? I think there's a couple basketball players that are getting their salaries in Bitcoin. They would pay income tax on that. Just whatever their standard rate is, which would be the highest rate because they're making millions of dollars. So, but then there's also capital gains tax over here. And the capital gains tax is what you pay when you sell, swap, or spend, or gift if the gift is above a certain level. Then you actually have to pay taxes on gift. They limit the total amount of gift. And I'll get into that in a little bit. All right, so selling Dogecoin. If you sell your Dogecoin for fiat or stable coin or, yeah, that's it. That's selling. Then there's trading. Trading is actually the same as going to a stable coin. So if you do a swap, let's say you go from Doge to Jasmy, right? Because Doge goes on a big run. Jasmy hasn't run yet. And you say, okay, I'm just going to do a swap. I'm going to swap my Dogecoin for Jasmy. Well, guess what? That's the same as selling. So that's going to be subject to capital gains tax on the profits or losses of that Dogecoin. Spending Dogecoin. Yeah, spending Dogecoin. So you go to Williamsburg Pizza, you buy a pizza, you get 25% off, which is a good thing, but you are subject to tax on whatever profit from that change in price of that Dogecoin that you spent was from the time that you bought it to the time that you spent it. This is the one thing that I think the new administration is going to look at as possibly eliminating from the tax code. We'll see whether that happens or not. I don't know, but that may be eliminated from the tax code. I'm kind of thinking the banks would push back on that because the banks, of course, want you to use money, right? Use the banks, use the money, use the credit cards, all of that. They don't want cryptocurrency, right, to really be used as currency. So we'll see about that. Now, the other thing is that may happen, for instance, ADA, right? ADA, which is Cardano or XRP or Algorand or Hedera. Those are four companies that have tokens that are based in the United States. This is the next thing the Trump administration is looking at doing, is because they want to encourage business in the United States, they may actually eliminate capital gains tax on certain cryptocurrencies, such as XRP, because Ripple is a United States-based company. Trump administration wants to encourage working with US companies, and there may be the elimination of capital gains taxes on profits, which is why those four cryptocurrencies particularly went up so well in mid-November. All four of them went crazy up because a lot of people were buying them thinking, I'm going to put my money in those because I won't be taxed on capital gains. We don't know that yet. We don't know if that's going to happen yet or not. But for those that hold XRP, ADA, Algorand, and Cardano, the ADA token, you may not have to pay capital gains taxes. We'll see. You might have to for 2024 profits because they might not be able to get that change in time for your 2024 taxes. So I'm not selling any of those in 2024. I'm waiting until 2025. I'll take my profits in 2025 and hope that during the year in 2025, they'll eliminate the profits, capital gains on those profits for 2026 when you file. So we'll see how that goes. So capital gains tax, again, sell Doge, trade Doge, or spend on goods and services. And we'll talk about gifting in a little bit. So what's a crypto gain? You buy it, you sell it. If you sell it at a higher price than you bought it, that's a profit. That is your capital gain. Simple as that. So you must know what your cost basis is, which is what I show on my overall on my spreadsheet. I've got Jasmy, let's say, and I bought all this Jasmy. I've got a cost basis of 0.00368 is my cost basis, averaged all of it. So I sell all of this at once. That's my cost basis. And then if I sold like today at 0.0438, I would have made $5,570 in profit on that Jasmy right there. So you got to know what your cost basis is. Again, the way I do it is spreadsheets. There's other ways to do it. One of them is, I've shown this before. This is on CoinMarketCap. They have a portfolio, and this is the portfolio for the same KrissPax DCA. I did it twice. I did once on spreadsheets and once in CoinMarketCap just to show you, it took me a little longer to do this, but I did it just to show, here's my Jasmy, there's my cost basis or average buy price, my profit as of now, and I've got all of the individual, I've got all my individual purchases here as well, which I logged all in the CoinMarketCap portfolio. So I have them here as well. So that's all just for reference. So we'll just throw that back over to the side, and we'll continue on with the taxes. So income tax on Doge. So these are the things in crypto where you will be subject to tax that is considered income. So if you get paid in Dogecoin, or you get paid in Bitcoin or any crypto, like those athletes, right? Or I think the mayor of Miami and the mayor of New York was also getting paid in Bitcoin. It's subject to income, whatever your income tax level is. Also, if you mine Dogecoin, that's right. If you're mining Dogecoin, guess what? That's income. You've got to log all of that Doge that you collect. And that is income. That's known as income, guys, for mining Dogecoin. Welcome to the United States. Dogecoin airdrops. That's right. All of those airdrops you get for all of those tokens, you think that's free? No, it's not. You got to figure out what the cost basis is for those airdrops when you receive them. You got to log them somewhere, and you got to figure out what the price was when you got that airdrop. That is income. Dogecoin referral bonuses. Yep, if you get paid in any crypto for doing any referrals or affiliates, yep, that also is income. And you have to add that on your 1040 as income. And then look, liquidity pool tokens or interest that you get by adding crypto into liquidity pool. You get stuff out, you make profit on that. That is income. All right, so we move on now. You pay income tax on the normal rate. But if you sell and you swap and you do all that, then you have to pay capital gains tax on top of that for the profits. In other words, if you receive airdrop tokens, okay, that's a cost basis on the day you receive them, you pay tax on that, or you at least log it, right? And you know what that profit is or income that you made. And then the price goes up and you eventually sell those airdrops. Then you have to pay another tax, and that is on the profit that you made as a capital gain. Yeah, you got to add it all up. Got to add it all up. So getting paid, mining, airdrops, affiliates, the DeFi tax, that's for mining pool, liquidity pools, all of that, right? You got to keep track of all that stuff. And particularly with these DeFi, anything DeFi, nobody's going to send you any tax information on that. You've got to keep track of all of that. Is Dogecoin tax-free? Well, if you're just holding it, it is tax-free, right? There's no unrealized gains tax. So if I hold Dogecoin for 4 years and the price keeps going up and up and up, I don't have to pay any tax until I actually do a taxable event. Unless you're holding it in an IRA account like iTrust. If you hold it in an IRA like this, then you don't have to pay on the gains. You can swap all you want inside an IRA and there's no capital gains, but you can't pull it out until you're retired. You hit retirement age. So there's that goes against that. So we have that. So let's go through some examples real quick here. Oh, yes, crypto gifts. So gifts, yes. You can send a gift up to a certain amount of dollars. And then that would be free. So it's up to $19,000. So if you want to send someone some crypto, and the crypto is worth a lot more than when you bought it, and you gift it to someone else, you do not have to pay the capital gains on that crypto. It gets shifted to somebody else. That's just the way it works. So, and it's up to $19,000. And they put a cap on that because they don't want people just sending millions of dollars of crypto to someone else. So it's $19,000. The fair market value more than $19,000. Then you need to fill out an IRS Form 709. I don't know what that is. You'll have to look at that and what the tax liability is on that. I don't know. So that's gifting. So let's go through a few examples here. Okay. And this is the CoinLedger site. Again, this other one was called Coinly. This one is CoinLedger. You can look up these sites just on Google. Just type in CoinLedger, Dogecoin taxes, and you'll get this article. So I sold my Dogecoin for a profit. So Stephen buys $1,000 of Dogecoin, and then the value goes up to $2,000. He sells all of his Doge. He has $1,000 of capital gains. That's the profit. That's the capital gains. So how long did Stephen hold his Dogecoin? This is where the difference between short-term and long-term capital gains tax comes in. This is why you've been hearing from me, I'm holding my Doge for more than a year before I sell it, because there is a 17% difference at the high end, of which I will be next year. I will be the high end of this. 17% difference in the tax liability between short-term and long-term capital gains. Like I said the other day, if I sell for $1 million of profit in Doge, which I may very well have, $1 million of profit in Doge, that difference is $170,000. That's real money between short-term and long-term. That's real money. So what happens if you sell for a loss? It could happen, right? You bought Doge at 44, you sold at 41 because you were maybe freaked out. The price was going to go down a little more. So Kaylin has $5,000 in capital gains for the year. She sells her Dogecoin at a $5,000 loss. then her capital loss offsets her gains. This is tax loss harvesting. And this is why we're talking now in December instead of April about taxes, because this is something you can actually do. Let's say you've got a nice portfolio here in 2024. You've already sold some Doge, okay? And you've made $5,000 in profit, like Kaylin here in this example. Well, that's subject to capital gains tax. But guess what? If you've got something else in your portfolio that you can then sell for a loss, you can reduce or completely eliminate that capital gains. It all adds up for the year, your pluses and your minuses. You add them all up, and whatever it ends up being, net positive or net loss. So in this example, Kaylin did a tax loss harvest. She just said, look, I've already got $5,000 of profit of stuff that I already sold earlier in the year. Now, I don't want to pay capital gains on that, so I can sell something I have at a loss to $5,000, and then I won't have any capital gains to pay. So that's one thing you can do. The other is if you have a huge loss, let's say you have a $10,000 loss, and that's it. And that's it for the year. Well, you don't get to claim $10,000 of losses on capital gains because the maximum is $3,000. It's $3,000. The IRS is not fair. They're not fair. They'll charge you every nickel and dime for every profit you make. But if you have a huge loss, you don't get to claim the whole loss. The loss is only to $3,000. So, okay. So there's that. And then we can go on. Sean buys $100 of Dogecoin. The value rises to $300. And then he trades his Dogecoin for basketball game tickets. Or he buys a bunch of pizzas, or he does something else. He wasn't selling, but he's actually using them as trade. He incurs $200 of capital gains. Just the way it is. I earn Dogecoin through mining. Well, you will have to record that as other income on your 1040 form, and it's line 21, other income. And you'll have to figure out what that was for mining Dogecoin, and you put that on your 1040 form as other income. So, and there's other differences as well. Okay, now I transferred my Dogecoin to another wallet. Okay, you have Dogecoin on Robinhood, you transfer it over to a ledger, crypto hardware wallet. Guess what? Not considered a taxable event. When you transfer Dogecoin, it's still in your possession from one wallet to another, or from an exchange to a wallet, or a wallet back to an exchange. Not a taxable event. It's still your Dogecoin, still your crypto, not taxable. All right. Now let's take a look at, I only got a couple more minutes here. Let's take a look at Carlton Dennis. So Carlton Dennis put this video together. Wait before you cash out your crypto. Save big, capital gains tax. And in this video, Carlton goes through a lot of the stuff I already said, but he adds a few other things. And I just want to reference a few things like, is crypto subject to any taxes? Yes, it is. Are cryptocurrencies taxed? Yes, particularly if you buy at $70,000 on Bitcoin and you sold at 90, that is a gain. That is capital gains tax, like we just said. So, but what if you never sell your crypto? No capital gains tax. I'm never selling my Dogecoin. Well, then you'll never pay tax on it, right? You'll never pay tax on it. So we have that. And I'm kind of going fast through here. You can always repeat this video if you want to stop in certain places and you want to, sort of re-see what I said. This will be a video on my channel, so you can watch it again. So let's go on. So unrealized gains, if you don't sell, there's no tax on that. How much will I owe? Capital gains is owed on crypto profits. How long you hold your assets is going to be the difference. So what we have is less than a year, short term, more than a year, long term. This is the United States. Different countries have different things, but this is it. We'll get to Q&A in just a few minutes. So here is basically federal income tax brackets for single filers. So it's going to be a combination of your income. So income from your job, income from your, just whatever work that you do, added to, if you have other income, like you're mining Doge or doing something else, you add that in. But then you also have to add in your crypto and stock profits as your capital gains to come up with what your percentage is for your short-term capital gains tax. If you make over $609,000 between your regular income, your other income, and your crypto and tax profits, your short-term capital gains is going to be taxed at 37%. That's why I say, if you make $1 million in crypto profits, you don't get to keep $1 million. No, you keep about 650,000. And the other $350,000 is going to the IRS if it's all short term. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So that is your federal income tax brackets. Now, depends also on what state you live in too, because there may be state taxes on top of the federal taxes. That's right. State taxes as well. Now, some states, Florida, New Hampshire, some others, zero tax. But some states like Massachusetts, where I live, Massachusetts, I've got additional taxes I need to pay. That's the way it is. So you just have to add up your whole income. Again, tax accountant does it for me, but you just look at the rules, look at what the numbers are, and they will tell you. So long-term capital gains have better tax treatment. That's right. On long-term capital gains, it is pretty much 20% for those that make a lot of money. Now it can be 15% if your income is less, or it could be even 0 if you have relatively little income. So that is the tax. So on long-term capital gains versus short-term, and this is what I talk about. So you buy Bitcoin at 70 and you sell at 95 and you have a $300,000 annual income, let's say. Then you add on the profit, $20,000 short-term. That short-term capital gains is going to be about, let's say, $7,000. But if it's a long-term capital gains, because you've held it for more than a year, you're not subject to the short term, but you're subject to the long term. And Carlton goes through this. Instead, let's say you're in this bracket where it's 15% instead of the 37%, then you've saved $4,000. That's a lot of money. In my $1 million example, instead of paying $350,000, you will only pay $200,000, 20%. $200,000. The difference between $200,000 and $350,000, that's $150,000. I rounded to 170, worst case, because I'm up in the top tax bracket, or I will be next year. That's real money. So that's what Carlton goes through. You can watch his. He also goes through swapping. So this is Uniswap. Again, if you're doing any swapping, like from ETH to buy some Pepe or SHIB or something else, right? You got to keep track of that, the swapping back and forth. And whether that's a long-term or short-term capital gain, you're going to have to look at that. So swapping one crypto for another, there are profits involved. So you will owe taxes. And what else does he does? He does taxable events. Same thing. We covered that. Also staking. That's right. Staking rewards. If you earn from staking rewards, all of those that you're getting, IRS says, where's he highlighted it here? IRS says, taxpayer must include the fair market value of the validation rewards received as gross income. So if you earn through staking, you're earning Algorand tokens, you're earning ADA tokens, you've got Solana staked, you're earning Solana tokens. That's taxed too. So how about that? That is the US government for you. If you don't sell your staking rewards immediately, then again, you have a fair market value the day you receive them, and then you don't sell them and the price goes up, then when you eventually sell them, you will be taxed on the capital gain on those tokens from the price when you receive them versus the price when you sell them. So that is a lot on staking. Capital gain, short-term or long-term, you determine that. So can the IRS track your crypto activity? You bet they can. You bet they can. And I will not answer any questions from people who are trying to skirt the IRS, do something illegal, because I don't support it, and I'm not going to answer those questions. But I will be glad to answer any other types of questions. The IRS has gone after people who have tried to get away with not paying their due taxes. That is the price of living here in the United States. That's what we have. So that is my overview. I think I covered everything. We can refer back. I'll be glad to answer questions. Again, I am not a tax attorney, legal, crypto. I am not a CPA, but I've gone through this. I've shown you what these articles say. You can go and read these articles yourself or Google any other information, find out yourself, or consult a CPA or tax attorney to find out for yourselves, because that's your responsibility. Darth Mike. Tax avoidance is legal tax evasion. It is. I covered that in, it took me 40 minutes. I tried to do it in 30. How about Robinhood? Okay, Zpar, tell me what you're asking about Robinhood, but I'll be glad to answer your question. We're starting now. I'm not going to go back in the chat. All right, so if you have any questions, lay them on me now. Okay, lay them on me now. Anytime you sell is a taxable event. Yes. If I gift my wife crypto that I held for more than a year and she sells it a month later, is it considered long-term or short-term for her? You are married filing jointly. I think it's a wash and it goes into your combined income. And it doesn't matter whether you gave it her or kept it yourself, because you're married filing jointly. If you're married filing separately, different rules apply. Then it'll be like you said. The clock will start over because she's doing a different, she's filing separately from you. So that's what I think it's based on, but you should check that for sure. I'm curious, if we are new to crypto, never sold anything, you just put into Doge and that's all. Nope. There's no such thing as unrealized tax gains. If you bought and you never sold, well, that means Robinhood, let's just say it's on Robinhood, you will not get one of these Form 1099s. They won't send you one because you never sold anything. So there's no taxable event there. Anything you take out of crypto gets taxed. Stay safe, y'all. Yes. When I sell, how do I know exactly which coins are being sold? So You determine the way you do it. It's either first in, first out, or first in, last out. But as soon as you start doing one of them, you have to be consistent with that through your lifetime. That's what the tax law says. What I do and what Robinhood does and most exchanges do, the first one you bought is the first one that's sold. Like if I only sell half of this Jasmine, or let's say this Dogecoin, right? This Dogecoin example I did right here, it's the first Dogecoin you bought, that's the first that gets sold. And that actually helps you in terms of long-term versus short-term capital gains. So first in, first out. That's how I do it. Yes, good info. Thank you. What about receiving Bitcoin via sweepstakes? That's taxed as income. You need to record the price of that Bitcoin on the day you received it, and that goes into your line 21 on your 1040 form as other income. And what I would do is I would go down to my Bitcoin on my form, on my spreadsheet, and I would add a new line, insert a new row. I put in today's date of 12/11/24. How much Bitcoin did I receive? What was the average price of that Bitcoin? What was the price of that Bitcoin when I received it? And then it's on your form. And then you can start tracking for profits in the future. You got to put it somewhere on your form. And then typically what I would do is I'd put a little note over to the side to say that that was a sweepstakes, right? Just put a little note there, just so I know that that Bitcoin there, that Bitcoin that I received is actually from a sweepstakes. So I know it's different from the Coinbase Bitcoin that I bought. And you can do all of that on a spreadsheet. Okay. If you sell your crypto on Robinhood, it goes into the cash balance and you use that cash balance to buy more crypto. Is that taxable? It's taxable for when you sell. That is a taxable event. When you buy something, that's not taxable. And the one beauty of crypto is there's no wash sale trading. That's a stock thing. I'm not going to get into that wash sale on stocks, but on crypto, it's only taxable when you sell, not when you buy. If you don't withdraw the money, you need to pay the tax. That's correct. Right? It's not when you withdraw the money to your bank. No, it's when you hit the sell button. You hit trade, you hit sell, that sale goes through. That is the taxable event. Okay? Will the IRS ask if I bought anything? Only if you get audited. You do not want to get audited if you did crypto. I feel very confident that I am keeping track of all of my crypto on my spreadsheets. So, hey, if the IRS wants to come audit me, go right ahead. I got it all on my spreadsheets. I got my staking, I got purchases, I got my sales. It's all on my spreadsheets. So come get me. Fine. Do you know why I can't transfer money from, are you really doing this? Aiden, you're gone. Goodbye. Anybody putting that crap in here is permanently banned. That is a scam. Why is buying crypto not a taxable event? There's no profits. You only get taxed on profits you make. When you buy, there's no profits. When you move crypto from one wallet to another, there's no tax. No tax. In the UK, after April, capital gains tax goes up. Interesting. Is there a minimum amount of profit before they send a 1099? Yes, there is, and I don't know what that is. You might just Google that, and Google will probably tell you. Or ask ChatGPT, or whichever AI thing you want to use. They'll tell you. Yeah, we'll talk about charts and all of that stuff, JW, later after the tax stuff, okay? I moved from some Doge to Robinhood. Now CoinStats thinks I sold. Do you recommend using CoinLedger over Robinhood to capture the average cost? I use my spreadsheets. You cannot use those online things to do anything automatically. You either do it on spreadsheets, or like I said earlier, you actually do it like on an online thing like I did here with this portfolio on CoinMarketCap, and I have every transaction here. That means that if I moved from one exchange to another, or from an exchange to a wallet, it doesn't show up here because it's not a taxable event. You just don't put it in. But yeah, if you're using like CoinStats and it's attached to a wallet, and then that crypto moves out of that wallet, CoinStats is going to think that you actually sold it. I don't use any of those. I checked my sale pump gold bars after 2 years. I don't know. I can't answer that about gold. I moved from Doge to Robinhood. Oh yeah, I got you. You asked more than once. Yes, the person who receives the gift will eventually pay taxes when they sell it, not when they receive it. It's a gift under $19,000. They do not have to pay tax on receiving that gift. But when they eventually sell that crypto, then they are liable for tax. So if you sell for a loss, you still have to pay taxes? No, it'll go against your overall capital gains. So if you are negative throughout the year in all your green and your red, so let's say all your profits are all in green and all your losses are in red, and you add them all up and you're net red, you don't pay any taxes. In fact, you can offset your taxes with a loss in the United States up to $3,000. I did my first swap this year. You bought $500 of ETH on Coinbase. You moved it to Coinbase wallet and then swapped for a crap coin. So what was the price of ETH when you swapped it for your crap coin? That's the taxable event. You've got to figure out what was the price of your ETH. What was the price of your ETH when you did the swap? That's what you need to know. That's the taxable event, was that ETH. You essentially sold the ETH. Do you pay taxes on the money given for uninvested cash? No. If you're earning interest on that, let's say you're in Robinhood Gold or on Coinbase, you maybe are holding USDC and you're getting interest on that, that interest is taxed as interest income. The IRS gets you on that too. If you normally get a return, will they just take your capital gains tax out? You have to, no, you don't take your capital gains out of that year's return. You actually have to log it on your 1040 form. You got to go onto your 1040 form and you've got to put all your capital gains in as a Schedule D. So the capital gains are all factored in when you file your taxes for the year. Yes, when it comes to taxes, New Hampshire is better than Mass. Yes, Isaac, that is true. It's $600 for Coinbase. That's your minimum, maybe. You're a newbie, but learned a ton. Glad to do it. Again, at any time, you guys can just rewatch this. This will become a video on my channel. You can always rewatch it again. That first 40 minutes just covers everything right there. You can just rewatch it again. Send it to your friends, your loved ones. Everyone needs to know about taxes. Or you can ask Grok too, yes, or Kapul. Maybe you already said it. What is the percentage of tax I have to pay on long-term capital gains? It depends on what your overall tax bracket is. That's why I had this video here of Carlton here. So look at Carlton's video here, and he gives you the different levels here. Oh, this was short term. Sorry. And then there's a long-term one that he did. Where was his long-term one? Just a minute, just a minute. We did cover it. Long-term capital gains, better tax treatment. Can't find it at the moment, but it was either 20, 15, or 0, depending on your total income, is what that is for long-term capital gain. There it is right there. So it depends on your annual income. You'll fit into one of these slots, either 0, 15, or 20, depending on your overall tax level of total income. I'm trying, Devil Man. Just give me a break. I'm catching up. I'm catching up. You're spamming the chat. I got a lot of questions here. I'll get to you. Put it in the chat again because I missed it the first time. Oh, there you go. Devil Man. Great. If I make $1 million in profits, withdrawal to your bank within a year, do you get $1 million to use freely until the IRS gets your case the next year? Yeah. Yeah. We were talking about that with the early crew. So let's say you sell in January and you have $1 million profit. You can use that $1 million for the next year. You can gain income. You can gain interest on that $1 million until you have to pay the tax on that, because it's not going to be due in the United States until April 15th of the next year. Yes. That's why, I mean, Sam is it, or whatever Samuel is, whatever his name is. He was asking as part of the early crew, and he was like, well, can I just pay my tax as soon as I make the sale? And I'm like, why would you want to do that? You can use that money and gain interest on that money throughout the year. That's like free money. So if you get tipped in crypto and there's no tax on tips, there you go. Then you don't have to record that as income. Are stocks taxed different than crypto? Nope. It's all in the same. You fill out the same forms. You will have the same 8949 will be for stocks as well as crypto, and the same Schedule D is for stocks and crypto. Same. Is the Coinbase One pre-filled 8949 accurate? And you have to check that. I don't know. I have not received a pre-filled 8949 from Coinbase. I received a 1099. So you only have to do the 8949 for things that you didn't receive on a 1099. That's how that works. Some of you guys don't know what I just said, but that's okay. Doesn't Robinhood and Coinbase give you the tax form with all the necessary info? They should. It's still your responsibility to check and make sure it's accurate. But yes, again, on Robinhood, they will send you this 1099, and they will have your short-term and long-term transactions, and all the detail behind all the transactions will be there. It's all there. Each individual transaction is all in the 1099 form from Robinhood. So if you only trade on Robinhood, you don't transfer off, you don't transfer on, you don't do any swaps or anything else. and this is all you use, you're all set. They will give you the 1099. They will add it all up, stocks and crypto, and you don't have to worry about it. You just have to make sure that the information from the 1099 finds its right place onto your Schedule D, because you do still have to do a Schedule D to log that from your 1099. That's your responsibility to get it onto the Schedule D, which then gets put onto the 1040 form. So that's your responsibility for all of that. Credit card rewards in crypto. Yep. As soon as you receive that crow, if you're on crypto.com, that's income. If I bought really bad coins, do I need to report their names? I don't think so. I think it's probably okay on an 8949 form, instead of calling out all of the individual cryptos, you can say various, right? Or something, right? As long as you have a way to at least get the information onto the 8949. Let's say it's fart coin, right? And you don't want to put fart coin on your 8949, right? I get that, right? Fart coin. Or even worse names than that. Yeah, you can probably, again, this is all just to make sure you've got the record keeping on the back end, and then you can put various transactions on your 8949, make sure it's all summed up properly, and you can just do that. That should be good. When it's all said and done, I usually get a return instead of giving me a return. Well, again, you got to put it in beforehand. You put it all into your 1040. So, yeah, I'm not going to talk about that a little more. Did Isaac give out membership? Thank you, Isaac. Whoever got the membership, I can't scroll up and get to it all the way, but thank you. Martin, long or short, if I held certain crypto for more than a year, then add a second buy of the same crypto, and then you sell all, then the first batch will be a long-term capital gain, and the second batch will be a short-term capital gain for your profits. And you'll have to separate them on your spreadsheet so you know which is which. If Trump does somehow make it so income tax isn't a thing anymore, I assume we only have to worry about capital gains. Maybe not. Maybe that goes away too. Again, I don't know how long it would take to get that stuff passed through Congress, but it might be a reason not to sell before the end of the year and wait till 2025, because then that gives them a whole year to change the tax laws, and it might be beneficial. Nate, thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. If you transfer from wallet to wallet on two different exchanges, is the date of the initial purchase recognized by the new exchange? No, it is not. So that's where Robinhood and Coinbase may have a problem with having a complete, accurate 1099, because they will not know what you initially bought that asset at. They will not be able to track that. Again, I can't say it enough. Spreadsheets, man. Spreadsheets. It's your responsibility to keep track of all that. And even if you transfer it, you can put a little note on your spreadsheet, you know, that you transferred this ETH from Coinbase to Robinhood, and just cover it with a note. But you got to keep track of that. You can't rely on the exchange. They won't know what you bought that. Even if you did Robinhood, let's say you bought it on Robinhood, you transferred it to a ledger, and then you transferred that same crypto back to Robinhood. When Robinhood receives that crypto back, they don't know that that's the same crypto. You got to keep track of that. So you use Coin Tracker without any spreadsheets. As long as he keeps tracks of everything for you. Again, there are some who say Coin Tracker doesn't. If you start using different wallets and different exchanges or whatever that isn't attached to Coin Tracker won't know. So you have to make sure that everything is on there and accounted for. Okay. If I deposit 50,000 out of my money market account, I'm only responsible for everything after my 50K. I don't know what that means. Have you bought anything? That's just cash. So you have to actually have a purchase and a sale somewhere. Purchase and a sale. I'm just talking tax stuff now. We'll probably do this for about 10 more minutes and then we'll get to the charts. Okay. If I make $2 million in profit, will it be tax-free since it's a long-term capital gain tax? Since you're making less than 50,000. Aha, but you're not making less than 50,000. You're making $2,050,000 because that profit goes into your adjusted gross income. So now you're up at the top of the tax bracket. That's where I'm going to be next year, up at the top of the tax bracket. So long-term capital gains, 20% on your profit. So that $2 million, what's 20% of that? $400,000. Yep, you are out $400,000 for the long-term capital gains on your $2 million profit. Yeah, basically Robinhood doesn't send it to you in the mail. They give you a notification. You have to download it from the Robinhood website, and they show you how to do that. Thanks for pointing that out. Some is Best is going to go start making spreadsheets. That is kind of the end result of this whole live stream here is that. And you have to go to each exchange and you just got to log each and every purchase and sale. You got to figure it out. Sorry, man. I've been talking about it for months and months and months, but yep. Yep. Why don't I sell some now? Well, that's probably a good question, kind of. I think that I'm going to be under that overall tax bracket and be charged a lower tax rate. Like instead of 20%, I'll be in the 15%, that 5% difference. Well, the reason I'm not selling this year is because I still think crypto is going to go up a lot more than that 5% gain is going to give me for that. So I'm not selling in 2024. I still think we've got a bull market ahead of us in 2025. Prices are going to be higher. And so I'm betting on that to make me more money. If you've done all your trading on Robinhood, you haven't transferred anything on or off, Robinhood will take care of you with the 1099. Yep. Mert. So funny. So funny. Ryan made it right at the end of the tax part. Right at the end. So if you want to know about taxes, Ryan, you just slide it all the way back. You start at the beginning. Because we're going to talk about crypto now. What's going on? Look at Dogecoin. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's almost to 102 now, $102,000. Everything's going up. Algorand's up. Solana is up. Cardano is up. HBAR is up. Sheeb. Big run today on Sheeb. Even the Bone token is up 12%. We've got Litecoin over $118. We've got XRP up to 243. It's all going up, guys. Ethereum Classic, $34. So, good turnaround day today. And what was I saying yesterday? Don't get shaken out, right? Remember that? Don't get shaken out. And look what happened today. Everything's going back up. Bought the dip last night. Awesome. Bought the dip. Charlotte, sorry, I don't know the British tax. I can't help you there. You'll have to figure that out yourself. Kriss talking about taxes made the markets pump. That's awesome. That's awesome. Can you use tax deductions if you're paying Coinbase fees, Robinhood fees, gas fees? I pretty much discount the fees, but I imagine there's a way to calculate as you can probably subtract the fee from the profit. Maybe you can do that. I'll need to look at that. That's going to be a big number next year. I'll have to see what the fees do. Because if you've got 100,000 Dogecoin and you sell it all at a price of 42 cents, but Coinbase takes their fee out of it. Robinhood is no fee. Coinbase has a fee, though. I think you can take that fee and subtract it from your profit. I will definitely look at that. I'm about 35% Doge in my portfolio, Devilman. How to find a crypto accountant. I Trust Capital gives you partners. And there are somewhere on this site, they do give you a listing of some crypto knowledgeable tax accountants who can assist you. And they pay, I trust, some fee for that. And I don't know where that is exactly. But you'll have to look on the I Trust Capital site. But they do have a list somewhere. And I don't know exactly where that is on the site. But somewhere on the I Trust Capital site, they do list crypto knowledgeable tax accountants. I know we're all depressed. I'm sorry that this live stream is getting people depressed about how much money you're actually making. Because you're not making it all. Bitcoin got rid of some shorts. Just go back on the Fair Paul. Just go back on the thing. It's this guy. It's Carlton Dennis. You can watch his video. I referenced it here. Where is his name? So you can see it right there. Carlton Dennis. So look him up, and he's got this Save Big on Capital Gains Taxes video here. You can check him out. Oh no, YouTube told me the market was crashing. Not me. Beat the Bush paid $1,000 on a Coinbase fee. He sold 200,000 Doge. No. He did something wrong. That's not, I don't think that's true, Low Roller. Or so, he messed something up. I don't know what. How do you buy and sell without the IRS adding it all up? You use the same $5,000 90 times. Well, there you go. Each individual use that you say is a taxable event. If someone says, hey Matt, if someone sells Doge at 37 cents and in the process of it going from Robinhood to my bank, it drops down, Robinhood, all Robinhood knows is the price you sold at. That's all they care about. What the price of the crypto is when you finally transfer the money off of Robinhood to your bank doesn't matter. The taxable event was the crypto sale itself. There are countries where you don't pay taxes. I don't know which ones those are. You can research that. I hear Dubai is a good place, crypto friendly, no taxes. But if you buy it here in the United States, it's going to follow you. And as soon as you sell it, let's say you go to Dubai, say, I'm going to move to Dubai and then I'm going to sell all my Doge in Dubai. That is taxable to the United States because you bought the crypto while you were a resident of the United States. Contact your tax attorney or lawyer if you think it's something different. That's how I understand it works. You're going to watch the replay, Nicholas? Okay. Thank you for letting me know. If you buy Ethereum and then swap for a token, is that something you have to report? It is. As soon as you do that swap is a taxable event. And that ETH, if the price of that ETH went up, you made a profit on that ETH. And that is a capital gain. Peak is having a token unlocked tomorrow. That's okay. It's all built in. We know when they're going to happen. It's all spelled out. I don't think that's a big deal. Do you think there will be a drop in crypto after January 1st, anticipating new tax laws? No, I think it'll be bullish. And it'll continue to be more bullish if we get more and more word of there being a reduction in taxes, particularly on crypto. More people are going to buy. More people are going to buy. The fees can get really crazy when the volume is up. Like the other day when we were having that huge volume, when the price was dropping, the fees go up. So that could be. What's the highest win rate someone can ever expect to achieve as a swing trader? 50-50. I will always say 50-50. It's like flipping a coin. Is the price going to go up or is the price going to go down? It's a 50-50 chance. You think you're good until you're not. Not only no need to pay a tax if you're lost, you can reduce by $3,000. $3,000 off. Now, if you lost $10,000 because you did something really stupid, right? You bought some token that went to zero, you can only claim 3,000, not the whole 10,000. Will Dogecoin be used for more transactions? Most likely, Christian. That will just continue. That will just continue to go up. And I hope that the government will say you don't have to pay taxes if you're using your crypto in exchange for goods or services. That would be awesome. Hi, Mike. How are you? Followed for 2 weeks now. Learned so much. Appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. The tax man cometh to rob one and all. I know. Isn't that something? The beauty of the United States. It's interesting that when the IRS was created and they started doing all these taxes, how much the taxes have increased over the years. For 100 years, roughly, let's say, for 100 years, we've been taxing, the government has been taxing the citizens, and the taxes have done nothing but really gone up since then. Crazy. I don't believe in Pepe Unchained. So I don't do that. I bought some Pepe. I doubled my money on it. I sold the Pepe. Short-term capital gains, fine. But I put it into Peak, and now I'm going to hold Peak long-term. And I've already more than doubled my money on Peak. Not bad. Not bad. I'm holding the Peak. Holding the Peak. If I profit 5,000 on one coin but lose 5,000 on a different coin, do I still have to pay the taxes? Nope. You add up all your greens and subtract out all your reds. And whatever that ends up being between the greens and the reds, if your total is in the green, you pay. If your total is in the red, you don't pay. And in fact, you can deduct up to $3,000 if your total is more on the red side. I was genuinely hoping that Peak would have dipped too. It did a little bit, not a big bunch, but it did dip a little bit. Right here, 65 cents, right there. Is it going to dip some more? I don't know, but 65 cents is better than 75 cents. That's the dip there. Last night, well, I guess yesterday morning, it was down at about 62 cents. So there's your dip right there. Will it dip lower? It might. Again, this is a new coin. We don't know. There's token unlocks. There's all kinds of things with this, but again, it's not traded on Coinbase or Binance yet. There's no futures trading on this thing. So new, but that's a pretty decent price. It's lower now than it has been for the past day and a half for Peak. Nice to see you, Melvin. Is there a certain dollar amount you need to report? For the minimum amount, you'll have to Google and check that. That's going to be a certain overall income amount that's not directly related to crypto. I just gave you all the crypto information in this. You should find out based on the federal tax law as well as your state what the minimum income amount is that you need to have before you file a form. Yeah, it was last up at 70 cents and Peak is now down like 63. What was my prediction on Doge? Yeah, I had two predictions. I had they weren't very good. 29 cents, I think. In the end, I said if it wasn't, and this is when Doge was like 9 cents or 8 cents, whatever it was on January 1st. Maybe it was in the 7s. And I said, yeah, 29 cents if Doge was not on X payments. That was my prediction. And it's 41 cents. I'll take it being better. If I'm going to be wrong, I better be wrong low, right? All those people that were saying $3 Dogecoin by the end of the year, yeah, we're not $3. I'm not going to answer any more, Raziansky, about swing trading. You've got to take that chance. When I'm in New York City, get pizza and Doge. Take a pic of my Dogecoin flag. You've got a Doge flag there, Kevo? Okay. I will be going to Williamsburg. Am I going to do it this trip? I don't know if I'm going to get down there. We're going to be on the Upper West Side visiting friends. And I don't know if I'm going to make it down to Williamsburg Pizza. We only have 3 days. We're arriving on Saturday, the 28th, and we're leaving Monday, the 30th. So I don't think I have time to go to Williamsburg Pizza this New York trip. So it'll have to be next. I have not graphed out Pepe long-term, Christian. So I think there's some other YouTubers that are more into Pepe than I am. If I bought Doge in 21 and 22 and been holding since, if I sell in 25, it's a long-term capital gains tax for your profits. Now, if you bought Doge in 2021 at 73 cents, you're still down a little bit on that. But overall, if you were buying in 2022 as well, I think your average cost is probably less than 40 cents. So it'll be a profit, but it'll be a long-term capital gains profit. So you'll be paying much less tax than you would if you were a short-term trader. Yeah, I'm going to give the tax accountants my spreadsheets. Take a screenshot of your wallet. Yep, let the tax people do it. Exactly. I do the same thing. I give my information to my tax accountant and they do the rest. Occasionally they have a couple questions. I answer the questions and I'm done. All right, everybody's taking chances and guessing. Exactly, Zig. If I made 10,000 in crypto, but you lost 15,000 in stocks, you would have a net minus 5,000. That means that you can actually deduct $3,000 from your adjusted gross income. And there's a place to do that on your, I think you would do a Schedule D still, and it would show a loss. Your loss would be 5,000, but you can only claim 3,000 maximum. So that actually helps you tax-wise. But unfortunately, you lost 5,000 in overall the sum of all your trades. Hey, Josh. IRS is full of it. Same dollar getting taxed. I know. Isn't the United States awesome? Right? You work, you get paid, taxed. You buy something, taxed again. Right? And sometimes it's 3 or 4 times on that same amount of money. Yep. Pups is a dog fan. Yeah, it's just the swing trading thing. I don't want to talk about swing trading because I don't want other people trying it and losing on it. And I don't want to be responsible for that. So I just say I don't swing trade. Never sell, never tax. That's right. But then you got to live somehow, right? When you pay taxes on crypto, do they ask you for any info like wallet address? No. What? No. You can generalize it on your forms as long as you have the backup. Now, if you ever get audited, then an auditor is going to come knocking on your door. Hello, I'm an IRS agent. I want to talk to you about your crypto. Then you're going to have to be showing them your portfolio. Hopefully things go wild. We get an $18 Doge. I would gladly pay taxes. I would gladly pay my 20% tax if Doge goes to $18. Absolutely. You can have it. Because I'm going to be a multi-millionaire for that. So sure, Doge, go to $18. I'll pay my 20% tax. No problem. You want a $1 Doge to sell? Aim for $1.20. That's one way to think of it, Raiden. Let's say, okay, I'm going to sell it all $1, but then you know what? If it goes to $1.20, there's my tax right there. Yeah, but what if it doesn't, right? And you're taxed if you don't pay tax. You know, you're penalized. You're penalized. No, I'm not going to move because my family is here. All my friends are here. This is my life. I'm going to pay the tax. It's just, I've built it in. I know what my targets are. So I know what my net is that I want to have after taxes. You turned $1,800 into $18,000 on Doge in 2021. You cashed out the morning of Saturday Night Live. Awesome. But then you lost it all option trading. Never reported it. That should have been in either a 1099 or an 8949. You should have reported that. You should have reported that. Do you take responsibility for letting us earn money on peak? Let's just say I found a possible cryptocurrency that may do well very early, and I told you guys about it because I bought some. I just said, I bought some of this. This is what it looked like. It was up to you what to do with that information. But if you make a huge profit off it, if you want to give a little finder's fee back to KrissPax, take a finder's fee. If I bought Doge over a year ago and then you gift 10,000 profit to someone and they sell it right away, do they have to pay short-term gains or long-term gains? You're gifting the Doge. Doesn't matter whether you profited off it or not. You gift the Doge to someone else and they sell it. They pay the tax. But it could be long-term because it was over a year ago. Yes, it would be a long-term capital gain because it goes back to the cost basis of when you bought it. Essentially, when you gift someone crypto, you're supposed to include something in writing that shows when you bought it and at what price. Officially, that's how you're supposed to do it, but nobody does that. But that's what you're supposed to do. Many times I scam the government, but they haven't scammed me yet. Have I made a sheet on Shiba? A sheet? Yeah, it's on my spreadsheet. I've got my SHIB here. It's right here. Here's all my spreadsheet. Here's my SHIB buys. This is on the KrissPax account. I have my own on my personal account. So we were buying August and September 2023, and we were generally under 10. We had 2 purchases at 10. Of course, SHIB is now at like 28, but 0.00010. But most of these purchases were 0.00008. And even here at the end in September, it was down in the 7s. We obviously didn't buy enough SHIB then, right? But we were just dollar cost averaging, buying, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there. Yep. We got SHIB at a really good price. September of 2023. That was a great price on SHIB. Overall, our average is 0.0000083. So it's tripled in price from when we bought it. I say agreed. Let's get to $1 first. $18 Doge is not possible this cycle. Maybe some future cycle we might get there, but not now. Huge gains in crypto will end up paying off the national debt. Could be. You never know, right? You never know. Jordani, that's going to be up to you when you sell. Everybody needs to make their own choices on when to sell. I can't tell you when to sell. Everyone was crazy. Everyone said I was crazy for calling for a sub 38-cent dip. And it hit 36.5. No, you weren't crazy. The KrissPax tax. I'm just laying it out there what the rules are. Doesn't mean I agree with them. Claire, thanks for the super chat. Hopefully we hit 50 cents before Christmas. The Santa rally is typically between Christmas and New Year's. So if we're at 50 cents by Christmas, we could possibly hit my revised end of year price target between 60 and 69 cents. That would be awesome for 2024. You were looking into DPIN today and you saw another one called Aether. Didn't have the balls to pull the trigger on Aether. I've heard of Aether, but I haven't looked into it. I'm over 90% of my portfolio on Doge. January 20th is going to be a great day. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to be live. I'm going to be live all that day. We're going to have a fun live stream. It's going to be epic. My next epic live stream, it's going to be January 20th. On January 1st, I will be doing my 2025 price prediction video for Dogecoin, and that will give my prediction for the highest price of Doge this cycle. If all you do is buy and sell on Coinbase and you don't do any other trading anywhere else, you don't do any withdrawals, you don't buy anything with it, no transfers, then Coinbase will send you a link to download your tax information, and it will have everything in it. How would the government know? Logan, you want to chance that? I'm not chancing it. Again, what's the first question that they ask on the 1040 form? At any time during 2024, did you receive as a reward, award, or payment for property or services, or sell, exchange, or otherwise dispose of a digital asset? Yes or no? It's the first question they ask on the 1040 form. Yes or no? If you say no, and they find out you actually did, you could go to jail. Do you really want to do that? Do you really want to do that? Do dividend stocks work the same as crypto? No. I mean, yes, they do. Dividend stocks do. No tax unless I transfer back into a bank account. That's wrong, Octavio. No. That's not a taxable event, transferring cash to your bank. Receiving dividends from stocks is taxable. Selling stocks is taxable, whether you transfer the money to your bank account or not. The taxable event is when you actually receive the dividends and when you sell the stock. Coinbase Wallet does not provide tax documents, RJ. You will not get any tax documents from Coinbase Wallet, just the Coinbase exchange. Same thing, Teshkel. Swing trading. My take on swing trading is it's 50-50. If you think you're smarter than the market and you're going to buy low, you're going to sell high, and you're going to wait for it to drop back down to buy again low, that's like gambling. You don't know whether the price from here is going to go up or down. It's a 50-50 shot. So you sell all of your Doge at 42 cents, let's say. The next thing you know, the price of Doge is shooting up 43, 44, 45 cents. Then what are you going to do? You're out of your Doge. You've sold it all. You can buy back in at a higher price, then you have less Doge. I'm just saying. January 20th, 40 more days. I've got my countdown going. Tesla was running after seeing Elon with Ken Griffin. Was Elon with Ken Griffin? Tesla went up to $424 today. Wow. That's like a 6% gain. That's huge for Tesla. Wow. That's pretty big. RFK Jr. bringing back the big boy restaurants? What? I have a lot on crypto ledger at a low price. Once I transfer it back to Robinhood at a higher price, what happens to the gains? So again, you need to have a record, fuzzball, when you first bought that crypto that's on your ledger, right? It'll be on your spreadsheet. You've got to log it somewhere. Before you transferred it to Ledger, where did you buy it? When did you buy it? What was the price? What was your cost basis? You've got to log that somewhere because you bought it somewhere. Then you transferred it to your Ledger. When you transfer it back to Robinhood, let's say, it doesn't matter what the price is when you transfer it back. That doesn't matter. It's when you first bought it. Okay? Any chance January 20th could go badly? Sure. Absolutely. There's a chance that it could just dump. We could have leverage traders like we saw the past 2 days, and then the market makers are just going to dump it to try and take out that leverage. Sure, that could happen. That's why we're going to be live that day. I think it's going to be a spicy day. Spicy, spicy day. Trump is going to ring the bell for the New York Stock Exchange tomorrow morning. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Sure, why not? Why not, right? Say you made a mistake? No, Chad, you'll go to jail. You'll go to jail. That's tax fraud. I made a mistake. Yeah, they're not going to buy that. The government already knows. Maybe. Is that worth it? You're going to risk going to jail? So hold until Trump says they won't tax crypto. I'm still going to follow my schedule for selling, and whether there's a new tax law or not, I'm still building in that 20% tax on long term. I've got that built in. If there's a change in the tax law next year and I pay less, awesome. That's extra money for me, but I'm not counting on it. Mining crypto is the same as income, correct? So if you're mining Doge or you're mining Bitcoin, whatever, every time you receive a mining reward, you need to log it somewhere and what the price was when you received it. How much you received, what the price was when you received it, and that is additional income. Any profits are taxable. This is America. That's right. They said Doge was a joke, would never even break a penny. And now it'll never break $1. We'll see. I think the Ripple Labs stablecoin will be positive. I think it helps with whatever Ripple's planning on doing to have a stablecoin. As long as it's stable, it's properly backed. It's not one of these algorithmic stablecoins like Terra had. Remember that one from 2022? Remember that algorithmic stablecoin? Like Mike Novogratz and those guys were all like saying, this is the future. Not. What are the chances that Trump will make it so that crypto will not be taxed? I think that Trump is going to try and make it so that only certain cryptos aren't taxed. The ones that are United States company based. Like I said earlier, Algorand, Hedera, XRP, and Cardano. Those are the 4 that I know. There might be another one. And I think those are the ones that he's going to try and push to eliminate capital gains tax on profits. If you keep all of your crypto on an exchange because you don't want to deal with keeping track of all the taxes, that's your choice. I understand swing trading. It could be stocks too. It's still the same deal. I did swing trading stocks for a long time. In fact, I did it this fall. With DJT stock, I did it. I did it with MicroStrategy stock. I think it's a lot easier to swing trade stocks than crypto, actually, and I still do it. I was actually really good at it back in 2020, 2021. I only had small bits of money at the time, but I was pretty successful. This fall, I made a lot more money. A lot more money. I started with about $18,000 of DJT stock, and now it's at like 90,000. Part of it is the overall gain, but part of it was my swing trading too. I made a lot. But that's stocks. I don't do that with crypto. Raiden reminds everybody to like and subscribe. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, you like the content, you like what we're talking about, we're keeping things real. You will not hear other YouTubers talking about taxes like I just did. They're not going to do that. But I kind of keep it real here. I've got something here. The first 40 minutes of this live stream is stuff that you can refer back to just as a reminder about taxes. So someone has to pay taxes on something when they sell it, even if they didn't buy it. Yes. If you have the crypto and you sell it, there is a cost basis for that crypto, whether you bought it or somebody else bought it and gifted it to you. Yep. That's the way it is. Inside corners. Hey. Sure thing, Ace High. Don't mind it. Elon said in an old interview, it would be ironic if the original meme coin that was created as a joke should come to be one of the most widely used currencies. I know. Isn't that something? Fate loves irony, right? Fate loves irony. Yeah, the Department of Government Efficiency it's like an advisory group or something. I don't know what officially they call it. It's not an official department of the government. Someone asked Grok, when will Elon add X payments available on X? And Grok said December 31st, 2024. Wow, Grok. Maybe Grok knows something. That'll cause Dogecoin to spike, even though Dogecoin won't be on X payments when it starts. Whew, that would be an awesome New Year's Eve present, wouldn't it? Is it true that if you were to make under $40,000 in salary, wages, and payment, you pay no capital gains on crypto sales? Well, you have to include the profits of the crypto sale as well into that under 40K number. And then it's zero. Yes. But I don't know what that number is exactly. If it's 40K or 35 or 30, I don't know what the number is. But there's some magic number. I just don't know what it is. You'll have to look that up. But the profits on your crypto are included with your salary income, adjusted. But the profits on your trades has to be under that number too, all together with your salary. If you don't sell crypto, you don't pay any tax. There's no tax on unrealized gains. There was talk, Kamala Harris was talking about that as part of her economic plan. She was not elected as the next president, so don't have to worry about that. You mined Doge back in 2013 and 2014 when it was pretty much worthless. Okay. Do you still hold that Dogecoin? That's the question. If you still hold that Dogecoin 10 years later, when you sell it, you're going to have to figure out what was the cost basis on that Dogecoin that you mined 10 years ago. And then you're going to be subject to the capital gains. Nope. Even if you sell to USDT, that's the taxable event. USDT or fiat doesn't matter. That's the taxable event. As soon as you do Doge to USDT, that's the taxable event. If I have a trading net loss, should I sell to be net zero before year end, even if I buy back? Yes. So that's a good strategy, Nick. Because, well, I mean, you could sell for profits to the point where you're back to a $3,000 net loss. That's what I would do. If you have a trading net loss that is less than $3,000, just keep that loss and claim that on your Schedule D as a $3,000 net loss. If you've got a $10,000 net loss, then you could sell some of your crypto for $7,000 in profit. So then you have a net $3,000 loss total. And essentially, you're not paying any tax on that $7,000 of profit on whatever other crypto you sell. So do the math on that. That's interesting, though. Yep, you can do that. That helps. Helium and Uniswap are American companies? Maybe. I haven't looked at them. I didn't hear about them. You think January 20th is going to be like election night? Could be. We'll be here. May the parabolic run be with us. Thanks, Kilroy. Could you conjure up a graph showing profit taking, leveraging versus just holding out long term? No. Because it all depends on when you do it. That'd be way too difficult of a graph to make. Sorry. I don't know if XRP is going to drop for a lower price to buy in or not. Again, dollar cost average, buy on the dips. That's what we were talking about all day yesterday when XRP was down here under $2. That was your drop right there. It was yesterday. You could have gotten XRP under $2. Is XRP going to drop back down there again? Maybe, maybe not. Are you going to chance that? What if XRP just keeps going higher and you want some of that XRP? I don't know. But yesterday you could have bought it sub $2. Thank you, Octavio. Appreciate it. I just learned on the fly, Tashkel. I learned on my own. That's the best way to learn, is just doing it yourself. I was watching some other general videos on stock trading and things you can look for in terms of like earnings reports. You know, every quarter companies have earnings reports, and sometimes you can get a good judge on like how a company is doing, and people tend to trade around those. So there's some of that, but there's really not like a Bible or a guide to swing trading stocks. I did it with DJT stock because it trades like a meme coin, because there's no company really behind it. Trump Media, like what's that? So it trades kind of like a meme, and MicroStrategy trades kind of like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin goes on a big spike, MicroStrategy goes up higher. After a big spike, sell it on the spike, wait for it to drop back down. It's easier to do with a stock. Harder to do with crypto. Yeah, so RJ, I don't use those softwares like Coinly or CoinTracker. You're supposed to like attach your wallet and then all of the information is there, but the wallet doesn't hold all the information of when you actually bought and at what price. So I don't use those. I use my own spreadsheets. Yeah, it's an advisory board that's making recommendations. Exactly, Devilman. That's what Doge is, an advisory board. But some of what they recommend could actually be under presidential executive orders. It depends on what it is. Some of it will require Congress, but some of it will fall under the presidency. I'm not going to do a live stream on swing trading stocks. No, Gavin, not going to do that. Yeah, unrealized gains. That whole thing was just nuts. How much tax do you have to pay on a $100,000 short-term gain? Did you have any other income besides that? That's the first question, because you have to figure out what your total was. And Carlton went through this, which is why I showed the Carlton Dennis YouTube, because he showed you, and this is what, a short term? This is a short-term capital gain. So that would be this graph right here. Where is it? Where's this graph? Right there. So $100,000 would be 24%. If all it is. Well, if it's exactly 100,000, then you're under that. You're at 22%. Again, this is just federal. It's not state. State will have something maybe on top of that. But this is what it would be, which is why I referenced Carlton's video here, because he had this nice graph that I liked here. So if you don't have any other job, right, and all you did was trade, and you have a $100,000 profit, it'll be 22% short term. If you had other income, including that, then you go up depending on how much your job paid you. But it all adds up. It's additive. Okay? For the 2025 tax year, individual filers won't pay any capital gains tax if their total taxable income is $48,000 or less. The rate jumps to 15% on capital gains if their income is $50,000. Okay. There you go. Again, everybody should do their own research. Look at the tax guide for each individual year. That's up to you. Google crypto capital gains tax calc. There you go. Yep. Do I see another pullback? I can't tell by looking at the chart if there's going to be a pullback or not. The chart isn't going to tell you that. We might have a pullback. We might go right up to 47, 48 cents. The chart is not going to tell you that. K-Mare, how are you? You kept it simple, one taxable event this year? I had a few. I did more stuff in 2023, but 2024, I really didn't do that much. I mostly bought. I didn't sell much. I sold Render and I sold Matic because they were swapping to the Render token and Matic was swapping to Paul, and I held those both on Coinbase, and I didn't want to be caught holding I didn't want to be caught holding something that I may have to do something else with in order to get it to swap over. So I sold those. I sold Pepe. I sold, there was just a few others, not that many. If Robinhood would let you pay with crypto through a card, that would be awesome if they did that. Right. You're welcome. Have I thought about mining? I might try it next year. Once I get my house, and maybe I'll set up the electrical for mining, the cooling. I probably won't make much money on it because here in Massachusetts, we pay huge electrical rates. I mean, it's really, it's not great. It's not great. Our kilowatt hour rate is like one of the highest in the country. So say I sent you Doge to your MyDoge wallet and you sold a year from now. How would you figure out the Doge price when received? So I know what the Doge price is when I received it, because when you send me the Doge, I'll log it on my spreadsheet, or I'll have a record of it, and at the end of the year, I'll look it up. So if you sent me Doge right now, I would log it at 41.6 cents. That's what the price was when I received it. So at a minimum, I would be liable for that. I mean, I could message you back and say, well, how much was the price of that Dogecoin when you bought it? And if I could get that information, I would use that. But if I don't, so you think an inverse head and shoulders is coming? Sometimes that plays out, sometimes it doesn't. Ronnie, I'll be doing my 2025 Dogecoin price prediction video on January 1st. So you wait for that. Finsanity picked up some Doge at 36.8. Nice, buying on the dip. That's awesome. That is awesome. DJ, 2025 might be more complex, but the prices I think are going to be higher. So yeah, Eversource. Hey, PaxCat's here. He says, Dad, enough of this crypto tax stuff. What are you talking about? Crypto taxes. You need to pay attention to me. Come on, Dad. Come on, pay attention to me. PaxCat is in the house. Aren't you, buddy? I know. What are you doing, Dad? Spending all your time with these guys. Yeah, there's the price of the solar panel, and we're in, again, here in Boston, we get a lot of clouds. I know the panels are getting better. It's still getting solar energy, even if there's cloud cover, but it's still not ideal here. So that's not great. We just call him PaxCat here on the channel. This is PaxCat. So we'll just keep it at that for the channel. All right, buddy? I know. Dad here is just spending his time talking to these people and not me. Nobody, huh? Yeah, nobody. No, I'm not creating any meme token, Cam. Not gonna happen. The Doge Cat. Purchasing thousands on mining equipment, upgrading every 4 years is better spent on buying bear market bottoms. You know, James, there's a lot of truth there. I think part of it would just be for the fun of like mining Dogecoin and earning Dogecoin through mining, just supporting the network, having the nodes, you know, all of that part for Dogecoin. I might be willing to do that. I mean, I'm making millions of dollars of profit this cycle. So spending $10,000 on, you know, a mining rig and getting it all set up and to earn more Dogecoin, I might think about that. Because my profits are really good this cycle, so I might do that. How did I know Kriss is a cat guy? I know Shemmy Boy, right? Cat guy. In this one especially. When he wants loving, he's just like, oh man, climbing all over me. Dev Factor. January 1st, I'll come out with my video for Doge 2025. Aave. Wow, my first request to look at Aave, and Aave has been going crazy for months. And someone finally says, hey, Kriss, take a look at Aave. $306 for Aave now. Wow. That's awesome. Look at that. Remember those dips that we had yesterday and the day before? Well, Aave says, forget about that. I'm going higher. Let's look at the daily on Aave. $306. Wow. When's the last time Aave was $300? So that would have been November 2021. Look at that. Aave is all the way up to 2021 numbers. Its all-time high was 600. My profit target is 400. 400. And now it's at 306. That is an awesome chart. You want $300 Doge? Look at that Aave chart. Awesome. So do you have that one drop? Do you have Aave? I hope so, because it hasn't seen this price since 2021. That's awesome. I do have Aave, and my average price was $68 for my Aave that I bought back here in 2023. So it's somewhere in here. 2023 is when I bought the Aave, and my profit is now 344%. Not as good as my Jasmy, but still, that's why you have a diversified portfolio, right? Because you don't know which ones are going to take off when you buy them. That's a great chart. Thanks for asking for that. I didn't notice that it had gone over $300. Whew. That is awesome. Aave. The Doge Weekly is still in the red here. Remember, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 green. Now we have a red. It has to get back up to 46 cents. Bitcoin is now in the green on the week. Look at Bitcoin's week. It's now green. Just about everything else is still red from the dips we had the past 2 days. Algo, Solana, Cardano, HBAR, SHIB all have red weeks. But Bitcoin is actually in the green now for this week because it didn't dip as bad the past couple days. Doge needs to get up to 46.6. Can it do it by Sunday? We'll be watching that. The cat guy holds Dogecoin. That's why he's jealous. Are you jealous because of my Doge? Over the next 10 years, $100 Dogecoin, you never know. AJ, how much do I have to pay percent in taxes if I don't have any other source of income, only crypto profits? It depends. How much were your crypto profits? Here's your chart, just as a guide. Again, you should check these numbers yourself, but this is your guide. Federal income tax brackets 2024 for single filers. How much were your crypto profits? $100,000? $50,000 puts you in a different percentage. So you have to look that up yourself. But yeah, it'll be a different percentage. Oh, and also, was it short-term or long-term capital gains? Right? So you said only crypto profits, but how long did you own that crypto too? That makes a difference. Short-term or long-term. After the wreck, we're back. Didn't take long, did it, Gray? Only took 1 day. Hey, Gene, if you sell your crypto in profit and you have independent children, do you think I will pay less tax? You are filing either as a single filer or married filing jointly. It doesn't matter whether you have independent children or not. Now, you will, on your 1040 form, you'll check this box, right, of your filing status in terms of dependents down here. So you'll go through your dependents here. And of course, the more dependents you have, then the less tax you owe. But that's all part of just the general tax stuff. And I'm not getting into that. I'm just talking about the crypto part of taxes today. I'm not going to go through whether your children are dependents or not, or any of that. You can watch general tax videos on that stuff. Okay. Doge is trading very well today. Miss Pax is the only one who's jealous. Yes. She's actually very jealous about how much love this cat gives me. What's your benefit for telling people to buy Doge? I don't tell people to buy Doge. I've never told anyone to buy Dogecoin. Nope. Generally in crypto, I do say if you want to buy, look for dips, look for red candles, because generally that's the best time to buy crypto. I've never said to anybody, buy Dogecoin. However, I do talk about the charts. I talk about the 4-year cycles, and I talk about what I see as opportunities investing in cryptocurrency to make money. And I tell you when I'm buying, just as a general note of, I think I'm going to make money by buying crypto here and selling there. I tell you what I'm doing, but I don't tell you to buy Dogecoin, and I don't tell you to sell Dogecoin. Okay? Just to be clear, I looked at Cody years ago, Spencer, and I determined it wasn't a project I wanted to invest in. So that's all. Do you have to pay taxes on gains when trading one crypto from another? Yes. That's a taxable event, swapping. Yep. Watch the first 30 minutes of this live stream, and I cover that. Actually, Raiden has a very good point, Momtaz. What do you benefit by always being so negative? That's actually a good question, whoever you are behind this Momtaz name. What do you actually benefit for being such a bear and talking all this crap that you do? I'd be interested to know that too. You just bought some XRP. You don't want to be left behind. Yep. 240, 242. Probably a decent price. Thank you, Jake Lee. That's what I do. I give honest information. GMT. What's GMT? I don't know what GMT is. I have a dead cat I'm holding on to. GMT. GMT is at 20 cents. I don't know what GMT is. Not off the top of my head. GMT. GMT markets, traded on Binance, Coinbase. Oh, this is tied to Steppen. GMT is tied to Steppen. Okay, I remember this. Yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing Steppen because apparently in order to be a part of Steppen, you actually have to buy this token in order to earn. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I remember that now. Will it fly again? I don't know if that Steppen thing's actually going to take off or not. So Rob, I always tell when I'm selling. I give you my price targets and I tell you when I'm selling. Sometimes I have to tell you after because I don't know exactly beforehand when I'm selling everything. But I don't give honest information. You know, I'm getting ready to ban you because how can you say I'm not being honest? You have no idea, dude. No idea. I've kept you along here for all this time because it's actually been kind of fun talking about it, but now you're pissing me off. I've always been honest, dude. You know what? Goodbye. You guys told me a long time ago to ban Momtaz. Well, Momtaz is gone. That was the end of Momtaz right there. You bought a little XRP, you bought some Tesla stock. Your Tesla, you're buying pretty high. But in my opinion, savage. Yeah. Ha ha ha. No more Momtaz. Trolltaz. Yeah. Actually, it was kind of fun to banter for a while, but if you're calling me dishonest, see ya. The end of an era. RIP. Momtaz won't be missed. Yep, exactly. I don't even think that was a her, to be honest with you. I don't even think that was a her. Yeah, Godtaz, right? I don't think it was even a her. So she, he, it, whomever, gone, right? But if you're going to say on my live stream that I'm not honest, see ya. Yeah, out with the negative. Again, for the past couple months, it's been kind of a banter that's gone back and forth. And I get it. It's like, you know, somebody was criticizing me on X for only being positive and not showing the negative, when actually I do talk about the risks and the dips and things like that. It's like right now we're in a bull market. I'm very positive. We're in a bull market. We're in a bear market and things are going down. I'm not going to be so positive. And I wasn't 2 years ago. You can look at my videos on my channel from 2 years ago. And I'm like, we got to wait until fall of 2024, guys. And that's what I was saying. Wait until 2024. From now, we'll have the ups and downs, the daily things going on, more downs than ups because we were in a bear market. I covered the FTX crash and all of that. Yep. Momtaz will come back with a new YouTube, you know, ID. Will come back again under some other name with some other picture. We'll know right away. So thank you, Fuzzball. Appreciate it. You bought 10,000 more Doge at 37, another bag of XRP, ADA IOS. Fun first bull market. When it dips, it's definitely pressuring to sale, but rolling with all the others. again, I just look at the 4-year cycles, and we've got 2025 still coming. So I started making videos back in 2020. I had a previous channel. It got taken down. I started this channel. It had a couple other names before KrissPax. This is what I've been consistently using now for the past couple of years. This is me. Dad Taz, right? Dad Taz will be next. Holding is the only way to make real money. You're at 865,000 Doge, DCAing for 3 years. Shemi, that's a good way to do it. I've been doing the same thing. DCAing, buying. And this bull market, I'm going to be taking profits. And I've told everyone, I'll say it again, I'm selling all my crypto except some of my Doge, my Bitcoin, SWI, and Peak. But everything else I have, I am selling in 2025. I don't know exactly when yet, but most likely by May, I will have most of it sold. If there's a late big run that goes into like October, November, like 2017, I'll probably miss out on a lot of that profit. But again, I have a goal. I'm buying a house that's going to be mortgage free. I kind of want to do that by the summer. So I might miss out on the rest of the bull market. But again, that's my plan. That's most likely not your plan. You may have a different plan, but I'll tell you when I'm selling. But again, keep that in mind, that is with this goal in mind of us buying a new house. And that's going to be sometime in 2025. And we've been waiting on this bull market to play this whole thing out, and it's happening now. We're way up on our profits. We're looking good. And I've been honest about that. I'm not dishonest. I don't know what. Anyway, Mom Taz is gone. Ha, ha, ha. All right. With that, we're going to call this a stream. Guys, spread. If anybody has any taxes, point them to this. This will become a video on my channel, and we will be glad to answer questions going forward about taxes. But most likely, I'm going to refer back to this video for people to watch this video, because I don't want to spend another 2 hours answering tax questions, which is why I put it all into this so that people can just watch the first 20-30 minutes of this video. And it's got all the tax stuff there. Or you can refer to this Coinly article. Just search Coinly Dogecoin taxes, and this article will come up. Or this Coin Ledger Dogecoin taxes, and this article will come up. And it's got all the information in here. So there you go. I hope everyone's doing well. We'll have another live stream on Thursday. And then another one on Friday. Got a lot to talk about with Doge. Doge is doing very well. Are we going to have a little pullback here? Maybe. Or are we just going to move higher? A lot of it is going to depend on Bitcoin at this point. Is Bitcoin going to hold 101 or go up over 102? We'll be watching that as well. So again, hope everyone's well. Have a good evening. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.